Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name is David Bradley. I am your host of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. Training facilitator and coach with Grant Cardone. What am I bringing? Well, I'm bringing you weekly sales solutions, sales tips, sales strategies, and a couple attitude adjustments thrown in there for good measure, directly from the 10X World with Grant Cardone. Check it out. 80% of what we do here, probably more, is 100% free. So the purpose of the podcast is to make sure that the free stuff we're putting down, you are picking it up. That's right, you're picking it up. And more importantly, you're plugging it in to your sales, your business, and your life. So thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. And if you're getting some value from this thing, hey, do me a favor and share this out into the cyberspace. If it is helping you, I promise you, somewhere, somebody in cyberspace is literally waiting for you to tweet it, post it, share it, whatever you want to do with it so they can stumble on it and get some help too. Okay. So today's episode is, well, it's Wednesday, right? So you know what happens on Wednesdays. We do the Wednesday word. And on Wednesdays, I'm going to crack open a dictionary. I got this nice long list of success-themed and motivated words. We're going to break the word down. We're going to look at where it came from. And then we're going to figure out what to do with it. What is an action idea that I can give you to put attention on that word, or in this case, words, for the entire week so that you get something out of it. Okay, so this week, well, you know what? Let's just get right on into it. Today, we're going to have two words. Polar opposites, back-to-back, positive, negative, not necessarily, north and south. Let's do that. Polar opposites, north and south. Today, though, there will be a subtext. And that subtext is going to be the toxic limits that we put on ourselves because we believed somebody else when they slapped a label on us that pigeonholed us and left us trapped by the idea of, well, that just isn't me. Have you ever said that? Have you ever used the phrase, hey, that's just not me? If you've ever used that in a sentence, stay tuned because I got an answer for you. Are you ready? Let's do it. Today's words. Today's words are introvert and extrovert. Polar opposites. There is no positive or negative. I wanted to correct that. I mentioned that earlier. It's either north or south, south or north. It's not positive or negative. It is what it is. I think both of these words are neutral, and I'll tell you why in a second. But let's just look at the definition. Okay? Let's hit the definitions right away. Introvert, a reserved or shy person who enjoys spending time alone. A person predominantly concerned with their own thoughts and feelings rather than with external things. Extrovert, a gregarious and unreserved person. A person predominantly concerned with external things or objective considerations. So, let's put these in a sentence. Although interested in the public welfare, he was too much of an introvert to consider personally running for political office. His extrovert personality made him the ideal host. So, to put a little bit more reality on it, from a celebrity standpoint, who can you think of? Clearly, an extrovert. First person that popped into my head was Robin Williams. Very much an extroverted person. Okay. However, God rest his soul. Did he have moments of introversion? Yes, clearly. Okay. Who can you think of on a more celebrity or well-known status who is more of an obviously introverted person? Now, what about introverts? So I got my handy-dandy cell phone here, and of course I reverted to Google. Okay. What are some famous introverts, and what can we learn from them? This is why I said it's not a positive or a negative thing. Let me just run down this list of famous introverts for a second. Eleanor Roosevelt was a famous introvert. Rosa Parks was introverted. Meryl Streep is introverted. Einstein, introvert. J.K. Rowling, introvert. Dr. Seuss, introvert. Steven Spielberg, introverted. Charles Darwin, introverted. Christina Aguilera. Emma Watson. Audrey Hepburn. Nelson Mandela. These are introverts, right? They tend to be a little bit more reserved and inside, unlike Robin Williams. So what does Wikipedia have for us here? Quote, the traits of extroversion and introversion are a central dimension in some human personality theories. The terms introversion and extroversion were introduced into psychology by Carl Jung. Although both the popular understanding and current psychological usage vary, extroversion tends to be manifested in outgoing, talkative, energetic behavior, whereas introversion is manifested in a more reflective or reserved behavior. Jung defined introversion as an attitude characterized by orientation in life through subjective psychic contents, and extroversion as an attitude type characterized by concentration of interest on the external object. Interesting. So what's the history? The etymology. Well, you got the end of the word is vert, extrovert, introvert. So that's part of the word. Then there's intro and extra or extra, depending on where you're looking. Intro means to the inside. And then extra or extra means outside, beyond the scope, in addition to what is usual or expected. And then vert is taken from the Latin word vertere, meaning to turn. So to turn inward would be to introvert. And to turn outward would be to extrovert. Simple. I like that. So now I'm going to say introvert versus extrovert in a no-holds-barred tag team grudge match. You the introvert and you the extrovert battling it out. See who comes out on top. I'm kidding, sort of. Because when you dig into the dictionary, you go a little bit deeper, and you will find that introvert and extrovert, in addition to being nouns, in addition to being descriptions, in addition to being a label, that they are also verbs. Meaning what? Meaning that it is an action. It is something that you do. Meaning that if you can introvert, that's a decision, that you can also make a decision to extrovert. I mean, what if it turned out that introversion and extroversion aren't just traits that you've been given, that you've been taught, that you've been labeled, and so forth, put behaviors and decisions, like they've put those things on you. Somebody else put that on you. What if it turned out that introversion and extroversion aren't just traits? They're not just labels, but behaviors that you do, decisions that you make, and you're making them every single day. Think about it. If you have been labeled or have been taught or have made a decision at some point that you're an introvert, when was the last time you actually extroverted because you had to? You ever yelled at somebody to not touch a hot stove? You ever yelled at somebody to get out of the way? You ever extroverted? And since we're on that question, introverts, where do you need to be a little bit more extroverted in your sales and your business and your life? Extroverts, where do you need to be a little bit more introverted for your sales and your business and your life? What part of your life needs you to turn out? Or maybe what part of your life needs you to take a moment and turn in? And there's nothing wrong with, and there is no reason why you cannot be both at any given point during the day. Because in fact, when you think about it, you already know this. It's already true. You already introvert and extrovert every single day. So do not limit yourself to just one thing. Be both. Do both. And most importantly, be you. Do you. Do not let anyone society, parent. Sorry, mom and dad. Aunt, uncle, friend, employer, doctor, head shrinker. Do not let anybody smack a label on you outside of divine, infinite being having a temporary human experience. Okay, here we go. Here's how I'm going to wrap this up. This is from the poet Rumi, passed along to me by my good friend Wayne Dyer. You were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly. And this has been your Wednesday Word. How are you going to fly today? Please go out there and soar. Soar as high and as wide and as broad as you possibly can. Go out there and soar. And if you got some value from this today, please make sure that you share this out into cyberspace so that other folks can benefit from it too. Thank you so much for listening. Appreciate you. This has been the Wednesday Word. I'm going to leave you with the words of Grant Cardone and also the poet Rumi. Be great, because nothing else pays. See you soon. Thanks so much.